6 antennae bristle the trunk of this strange car.
Poli 42 is starting his night's work. It is 11 p.m.
The night to begin, here we go.
He needs a bulletproof vest to work.
Welcome to Chicago.
Poli is a reporter and crime scene specialist.
Tonight will be another night of shootings and fires, and hopefully not any death, but typically in this business, that's what happens.
He's not hoping for death, but connected to all police frequencies. The dead and the injured earn his living. Chicago is one of the deadliest cities in the United States. Reports of gunfire, a man injured on the ground. A new shooting has just broken out in the southern districts.
Hey, Chris, where you at?
Poli has to go quickly before the ambulances pick up the bodies.
Sure.
You're walking into the middle of an investigation. Just let us figure things out.
No, I'm just trying to stay on your side of the tape here.
Just stay here for
as
1
always.
second.
The toll is heavy, 3 injured. The shooting took place in front of this gas station. Hidden in a dead end, a gunman shot a member of a rival gang. 2 bystanders returning from a basketball game were hit.
Typical in terms of the shooting itself. It's just because it's random. You know, they're going after one targeted person, but they're hitting everybody in the area with gunfire.
Poli has been covering violence in Chicago for 20 years, and there is no shortage of work. A dozen shootings take place every day.
It's no different than being in Afghanistan. There's shootings here all the time, and while I understand there's no, explosive devices and things like that, this is serious. This is a war. There is a war on the streets of Chicago.
2 males shot at the corner and fires en route 131 East 117th.
As soon as he got in his car, a new settlement of accounts just took place in the southern districts.
The tragedy took place in front of this house. The traces of the crime are still fresh.
2 new victims on Chicago's streets tonight. One was slightly injured and the other hit the chest twice.
Hey, Gus.
The cousin of the more seriously injured has just arrived on the scene.
He be chilling. He just got out of jail and he been chilling with his newborn baby. He see something going on now.
Awakened by gunfire and screams, the whole neighborhood is on the street.
Yeah, in the chest.
Oh my God. I'm like, my son be on this block.
Where my nephew at?
I don't know. I guess the ambulance got him, Mom. I don't know yet. They got K-Rock. They just locked K-Rock up.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why.
Oh, this is not good.
No, this is not good.
One of the targets is said to be a gang member. His partner was in the house at the time of the shooting.
I gotta call you back, okay? Gotta call you back. This is typically what goes on in this neighborhood every day. And it don't make no sense. You can't even enjoy a nice night on your front porch without people getting shot at.
That's what the fuck happened.
I don't know.
Called to the scene, the mother is in shock. Mourning families, shootings, crime scenes are part of the scenery. It has become the everyday routine in Chicago's red light districts.
Come talk to me. What the fuck? What the fuck? Somebody tell me something. What the fuck?
7,000 kilometers from Paris, in the heart of the United States, Chicago. View of Lake Michigan, the country's 3rd largest city, it is almost like a seaside resort. Beaches, joggers, its inhabitants are far away to be concerned about the bloody war playing out a few streets away.
With its grand avenues, its luxury stores, its prestigious buildings, Chicago imposes its wealth and its power.
It attracts over 44 million tourists every year. Everyone wants to discover the city of Barack Obama. It was here that the President of the USA got his first taste in politics, starting a career as a social worker in the southern neighborhoods of Chicago, already plagued by poverty. Around the rich and touristic city center, A belt of violence and misery extends across the west and the south of the city. 600 gangs are waging a merciless war.
Among them, two ultra-violent clans clash, the Black Disciples,
Against the JoJo world. Immersion in the heart of their war.
a gang war that continues behind bars in one of the most populated prisons in the United States. Here, the majority of inmates belong to gangs. Faced with 12,000 prisoners are Sergeants Colaudas and Menos. Their mission is to put an end to the settling of accounts.
The gang issue is on the street, the gang issue is in the jail.
On the streets, to eradicate violence, more than 12,000 police officers are there.
Their mission is high risk.
He was in the back window and started shooting this way.
It's a bull when they were shot.
This war is decimating the gangs, but new today, it claims more and more innocent victims.
You know, I'm very angry with the people that shoot our children.
At the other end of town, a community has successfully put an end to crime in its neighborhood.
With millions of dollars and trendy parties, the gays chased out the gangs.
Investigation into Chicago, the city of gangs and ghettos.
In the city center, the atmosphere is that of the 1920s.
Gangster outfits from yesteryear fake bullets on the bus. The circuit is called the Untouchables, the nickname given to police officers who were hunting Al Capone.
The most famous gangster in the world, nicknamed Scarface, the Scarface, the godfather of the Chicago mob in the 1920s.
It is to him that the city owes its reputation as the capital of crime.
The attraction is a hit. It is sold out every day.
It's obvious, natural to have an intentional tour, a gangster tour in Chicago.
The only place in the world you could have it. Alrighty, shut up.
On the bus, families with their children came to taste local folklore, guns. For 2 hours, the guides give them plenty of fun. Now it's a fake ambush. The highlight of the show is the story of one of the biggest shootings in Chicago, the Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929.
For the next 11 seconds, they would stand there and cut them down.
For these tourists, gang warfare is a game.
Have a nice time while you're here, honey. Thank you. Thank you for coming. That's what we like to hear now. Thanks for coming, buddy.
But in Chicago's southern neighborhoods, it's a reality.
When you move away from the city center, they are no longer majestic buildings, but huge ghettos. A population with a black majority where 1 inhabitant out of 2 is unemployed. A record in the country. Here, those who do not belong to the neighborhoods are not welcome, and they don't even dare to go there without bodyguards anymore. Today, Rui, a former Marine, and his colleague Ali, a former police officer, are on a mission. The soldier is keeping his old habits from his years of war in Kosovo. The gun is always within reach.
Last resort, obviously.
The client of these bodyguards is this woman. She is neither a star nor a political figure, just a nurse who's going to do her job.
In this town, with a medicine case and a computer, a woman alone is a target.
You need a security there?
Oh yes, most definitely. Yeah. Like you said, anything can happen at any given time.
She could get mugged, she can get shot, she can get snatched, kidnapped.
Shot?
Yes, shot, as well as myself.
Why? I mean, she's a
Why?
nurse.
Because that's where that's the way some of the neighborhoods are, and that's the way some people are.
They shot people like that?
Yeah. Stray bullets, stray bullet does not know anybody.
The nurse's employer has been using this safety agency for 3 years. Each patient visit cost her $275. The price of the survival of these employees. Today, we're heading south from Chicago to Roselands, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city. In 7 months on the corners of these streets, more than 50 people have been killed or injured by bullets.
This street we drive on is nicknamed Death Row.
Discreet car, civilian dress. The two bodyguards are not playing the hard way.
It's best not to draw attention in this neighborhood.
Where's your gun? You don't?
No. You know, the main focus is not to expose it, because, you know, obviously the main focus is to be discreet.
There's one street left to cross to get to the Tundra patient. Vigilance remains maximum. A shootout can happen at any time.
All right, so how's it going today?
I'm all right.
All right, well...
This young man was the target of several shots. The tragedy took place a few streets away last year, in October. Charles is 33 years old. He is now paralyzed in both legs.
What happened to you?
Got shot.
Where?
There was 2 right here, 1 in my arm, and 2 in my back.
2 on your back?
In
Also.
my back.
Fine.
5.
5 shots.
5 shots.
Why?
Argument. I was arguing with somebody. We had a conversation.
Just to argue about what?
Just arguing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it blew up to something. He pulled the gun out.
You wanted to kill you?
Yeah. They don't look like he wanted to kill me. You don't think so? Yeah. 5 times. I see you shoot somebody once.
Any pain?
Each week, the nurse comes to watch for possible infection of the wounds. Charles doesn't want to say whether or not he belongs to a gang. There would be over 600 concentrated in the west and south of the city. Vice lords, Latin kings, gangster disciples, black disciples, their power extends over half of the city. Their fight is being played neighborhood by neighborhood, street by street. Ultraviolet gangs waging a merciless war for control of their territories. They post their videos on the internet as a sign of victory or a declaration of war.
What does the most damage? It's that all these gangs have lethal weapons which they don't hesitate to draw.
On these video surveillance images, you will see a scene of settling accounts as happens every day in Chicago's hot districts.
It is 3 p.m. in the parking lot of a convenience store. This man in blue is leaving the store.
A man arrives with a gun hidden under his jacket. An accomplice follows him, gun in hand. The two of them open fire. The target took refuge behind his car and took off in turn. The men are shooting at each other at close range. In a few seconds, 15 shots were exchanged.
The man in blue escaped by a miracle, and as if nothing had happened, he got back in the car.
For the authorities, to control this outpouring of violence is a difficult mission. 9th District Police Station in the heart of the Southern Districts. 18 hours, Bob and Leo start their service.
Military bulletproof vests, machine gun, and Smith & Wesson on his belt.
For several nights, shootings have multiplied in the neighborhood. To avoid settling scores, the police are occupying the field.
Southbound, yellow shirt, proceed.
Yellow shirt.
Guy with a gun. Stay in the car, all right?
The alert is taken seriously by Bob and Leo. Several cars converge on the suspect.
Get your fucking hands up! Get your hands up!
You got anything on you shouldn't have? Where do you live, young man?
The young man looks harmless.
Drop something?
However, with the gun in hand, Leo and Bob are not taking any chances.
Okay, now we're going, guys.
We thought it was him. Yeah. It's not him. He didn't have shorts on. He had jeans, but he didn't have the jean shorts.
Yeah.
The suspect is not the right one, but a man is always on the move in the neighborhood with a gun in his belt. If Leo and Bob want to prevent the situation from getting out of hand, they need to keep an eye on all the gangs in their district.
These guys here, playing softball in the black. Most of them are all like the Saints.
There are gangbangers?
Yeah, and they wear the light blue. You'll see a lot of these guys wearing baby blue. That's one of their colors that represents their gangs.
For instance, the guy with
the baby?
Yep. You see the guy with his shirt thrown over his neck, and then he's got more baby blue on his jersey.
Colors as a sign of belonging, but also symbols tagged on the walls to mark their territory. For the Latin signs, it is this sun with 3 rays.
But that doesn't mean another rival gang won't come in there and start shooting. And they don't care that there's babies around, there's young families around. They'll just start shooting at them.
Their enemies are the 2-6 gang. They are on the street next door.
You see that bunny right there? That's the 2-6.
Leo and Bob are on the border between the two gangs, or rather the front line. On this wall, the enemy gang, the 2-6, declares war on Latin signs.
When they take their logo or sign or something, they'll put it down. We'll show you gang members that have like halos, they'll have them upside down. And it's just basically saying that they're against these guys.
Further away, in a close neighborhood, it's the territory of another gang. 2 young people are attracting attention. In the police, you have to know about tags, territories, but also tattoos.
Yeah.
When's the last time you got locked up?
November. And
For what?
I like you so much.
For Shank.
I want to show them your tattoos.
On his arm, the symbol of his gang, the rezas below, the sun is tattooed upside down. An indelible sign of his rivalry with the Latin signs. That tattoo on his face means he's ready to die for this war.
They do this too, this hairstyle, the shag, where they chop it and they let the back of the hair grow real long. Some guys will have it down to their butt.
His tattoos, his haircuts are provocations for the opposing gang and making them targets.
He got shot. One of the guys got shot.
And then I got shot right here too.
It was 3 weeks ago, 3 bullet holes in the legs. The wounds are barely healed.
It went in right here. It's what happens when you're in this. It's what happens.
People shoot you with any reason.
Yeah, any rivals, they will shoot you.
All right, don't get shot.
Here, gang members rarely live past the age of 25.
Don't get shot.
Uh-huh.
In Chicago, these kinds of warnings are not empty words. If gangs are so violent, it's because they're defending their territory, the location of all their trafficking, and especially the location of drugs. Despite the presence of the police, these neighborhoods became drug supermarkets.
Out here getting this money. Fuck the police.
Over here, you're gonna see a bunch of boys on a porch, and all they're doing, as soon as they hit the street, all they're doing is selling heroin.
Chicago is one of the cities in the United States where they consume the most drugs, heroin, but also crack cocaine, which wreaks havoc in the poorest neighborhoods.
It's in these abandoned houses, transformed into squats, that drug addicts come and take their dose out of sight.
Like that woman with a red shirt addicted to crack.
10 times a day, it's upstairs in this house that she is getting high with her partner.
Y'all couldn't believe.
On top old smoke.
After a single puff, the woman can't even articulate.
We're smoking crack cocaine.
The dose is $10.
She spends $5,000 a month on crack cocaine. To pay for it, she is ready to do anything.
I suck dick, I sell pussy, I wash cars, I sell snow, I pick up cans, I do it all to get high.
Sell pussy?
I sell pussy. Crack is a hell of a drug.
Crack is the drug of hell. It takes your body, your mind, and your soul.
Why is crack your drug of choice? Because it's my escape from reality.
a need to escape the reality that fills gang coffers. Millions of dollars that they kill each other for every night. This evening, Bob and Leo's radio announces a new settlement of accounts.
There's an officer in the area heard the shots on top of it. Okay, so there's a call, people are calling. Is there a bona fide shot? So the officer heard the shots in the area.
It's a Hispanic gang shooting.
The car came down the one way and came
This
up
way?
the alley and started shooting at us.
Where were they coming? This way and then hit the alley?
Came down the one way.
And then they hit the alley right here?
And then they came back around on Rockwell. It's a gold car.
What kind of car?
It's like Pepe, what kind of car is it? Like a
All I know
Park
is like
Avenue,
gold, man.
it's gold. He was in the back window.
You?
Yes, I was walking my dogs. I just took my dogs out. And next thing you know, the car came flying right here and stopped right here and started shooting this way. Back seat, the back passenger was shooting.
Who they were targeting?
Huh?
Targeting me,
my God. I think they were targeting
him. Most likely, they were targeting me because they see my shag.
Because of you?
Because they see my shag. It's gang affiliated.
So I stopped them from going out.
You are gang affiliated?
You don't go out.
Which gang?
I keep them as much as possible.
It's a bullet. When they were shot, it must have ricocheted and hit the car.
The perpetrators of the shootings are already far away. As in most cases, impossible for Leo and Bob to find the perpetrators of the shooting. One thing is certain, between gangs, there will be reprisals for this attempted murder.
No, not tonight. Night's still early though, so there might be some. There might be some.
When?
Either tonight, tomorrow, it doesn't, we just don't know.
Eradicating crime is a tough fight for police officers. They are 12,200 against 100,000 gang members. When the security forces stop them, the war continues behind bars. In the life of a gangster in Chicago, the Cook County jails, the prison is a must. Over 10,000 inmates await trial here. Exceptionally, the prison has agreed to open its doors to us. It is 15 o'clock. Like every day, 200 new prisoners are arriving.
Jones.
Jones,
John, you are accused of assault. Your deposit is $2,000.
Your court date is the 28th of this month. You get your left arm. Pull that sleeve up. Turn your arm.
The man is marked on the skin.
What is that? This number?
This is his inmate ID number.
These inmates are dangerous. The majority of them are gang members.
A prison officer is responsible for identifying them as soon as they arrive.
Martin, is that all you have? You got two dots on you?
It's impossible to trick him. Sergeant Colautis is a specialist.
No, not your face, just looking at me. Two dots, right here, for Tutu Boy. He also has, he's got 31st and Laramie. That's the block he's from. No, not here.
While cameras are rarely allowed in this prison, it is because the situation can flare up at any moment. That is what happened not so long ago. The goalkeepers run to neighborhood 2B. A fight between rival gangs turns into... The guards are filming the scene. The images are reprinted on an American television. The guards are coming back. Gang members fight with sharp blades. Prisoners refuse to submit. Even if the guards get the upper hand. In the end, 2 prisoners were injured in the shoulder, another in the stomach. It is to avoid violence that Sergeants Manos and Colautis have been recruited. They have worked here for 20 years. Prisoners are coming. We are ordered to step aside.
I don't want you to see something and try to run to catch the action. I want you to stay close to me.
The prison is divided into quarters of 20 cells. The inmates live together in less than 4 square meters. Here, the prisoners are not grouped by gang. The authorities separate them to prevent from becoming an unmanageable mass. But even mixed, the inmates claim to belong to a gang.
Y'all know what it is, GDN, man. Free my nigga last. Eastside, Pocktown Crazy, CTG, man. Y'all know what it is. Free the gas.
He's a gangster disciple.
The risk is that the gangs will kill each other. Every day, the 2 surgeons go around the cells.
Sometimes the fights will happen right here. The stairway is blocking the view of the officer. Sometimes the fights will happen in the day.
They hide under the stairs to prevent the guards from seeing them. Fights start either in the main room or in the cells.
That's why they had me here then to go investigate the fights. And I talked to what I just did today. I walked around and talked to the deck. One guy would come out and say, hey, the fight happened over food snack. The fight happened over something that happened on the street. You know, something minor.
They are so alert because every day they find a veritable arsenal on inmates.
Barbaric weapons are manufactured within the prison.
This is a long threaded bolt that's been sharpened to a point. And from working at the jail, I can tell you this is probably a plumbing fixture.
But also fasteners for neons or filing cabinet frames. Inmates use whatever they have at hand.
Out of all these weapons, they appear very dangerous, but the dangerous ones are the small, skinny ones.
Yeah, why?
These are because they have the ability to pierce and penetrate.
These makeshift weapons cause around 30 injuries every year. And that's just as much retaliation to come. For Sergeant Manos, the gang war will never end.
The gang issue is on the street. The gang issue is in the jail.
How?
Well, they don't stop becoming gang members when they come to jail. They don't stop becoming gang members when they leave the jail. This is a life choice that they have made.
Be cool. I'm gonna see you.
6 o'clock in the morning the next day. Swag, 19, is released from 6 months in prison for aggravated armed violence.
What's up, man?
His friends came to get him.
My mom ain't coming?
Yeah, she's on her way.
Yeah. What up, friends?
What's up, Carol?
How was it? I mean, you know, jail is jail.
What happened?
Man, some violence happened. I was there, you know. They said I was guilty.
Among those waiting for him is his manager. Swag is a rapper.
Feeling good,
Here are his clips: big cars, greenbacks, and pretty girls.
The first thing Swag does when he gets out of prison is to go to the cemetery.
That's a miracle that gate open.
This is the tomb of his little brother, nicknamed Jojo. He died at the hands of a gang last year at the age of 18.
I just say every time I come, it's crazy. It's crazy to me every time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It hurt. It hurt me still. Yeah.
Could you be a target? You know, that's...
Yeah, of course, because, you know, they died too. It's not just our team who died. It's people on their team who died too, so they want revenge, just like we, you know what I'm saying? Want revenge. Everybody. It's war.
Are you scared to being shot?
No, I ain't scared. When my time come, my time come. I ain't scared.
You are 19, and you say that?
Yeah. There's nothing I could do about it. You know what I'm saying? So why be scared? If it happened, it happened.
Jojo, his little brother, here he is. They looked like 2 drops of water. He was a rapper too.
That song would have cost him his life. Gun in his hand, he provokes a very violent gang, the Black Disciples.
There's even a song called BDK, Black Disciples Killers, the Black Disciples Killers.
Swag and JoJo grew up in Inglewood, one of the poorest neighborhoods and the most violent in Chicago. Here, the vicious cycle continues.
JoJo and Swag's friends repeat the same sign of attack against the Black Disciples.
They don't do anything all day, rap, drink, and smoke joints. Above all, they have just set up a gang in honor of JoJo.
JoJo world. That's plain and simple. JoJo world. And I'm killer.
Is it your own gang?
C'est notre propre gang. C'est nous.
We go psycho. I like how you said it. We
These boys, who you could almost think of as funny guys, just shot a video. A message addressed to their enemies. These boys declaring war are the same ones we have to see on the street. With their frightening looks, they continue to fight for their friends. However, they were not destined to fall into gang violence. JoJo has become their emblem. Swag wants to tell us about the life of his brother. His house became a memorial.
Hey, this JoJo hat, man. This all I gotta say. So this JoJo room, man. You know what I'm saying? These his clothes. These his shoes. These his fair pair of shoes right here.
You keep everything?
We keep everything just how it was.
Why?
Because we don't wanna, we rather not move nothing, you know what I'm saying?
You miss him?
Do you miss him?
I miss him. This my little homie.
Of course I miss him. He's my son at the same time. He's my father too.
I'm his daddy, he my daddy. Of course I miss him. That's all I had in life.
Why you say he's dead, my dad? Why do you say that?
We don't have a father. We never had a father since we was babies. No daddy, just mom.
JoJo is the banal story of a teenager who is adrift in the hot districts. As a child, he was shy, smiling, and uneventful.
An angel face, a good student at school, but his father is absent, and when JoJo is 12, everything changes.
The dad disappears behind bars for good for drug and arms trafficking. The two brothers, JoJo and Swag, are left to fend for
We don't
themselves.
have nobody to teach us how to be tough in this world, how to survive. Besides our mother, but you know moms want you to do everything good, positive. Sometimes these streets not positive. Sometimes you gotta do bad things in the street to survive. Sometimes you gotta be strong in these streets to survive. Mothers can't really teach you. Mothers don't want you to fight.
We wanted to meet the Black Disciples, the people to whom JoJo had declared war.
Get my grind on.
To find them, you have to go deep into Inglewood.
Get my grind on.
It's at night that the gangs come out, difficult and dangerous to approach them. Everyone outside is an enemy.
It took a month of negotiation before they agreed to meet with us.
The meeting takes place in this city at the heart of their territory.
Here, two men were shot just a few weeks ago.
Amongst the children of the city, we will meet the leaders of the gang.
In the crosshairs of the police for the murder of JoJo, all of them asked to remain anonymous.
They never leave without a gun in their pocket.
Man, that's what it is, man. Gotta do it over here like that, man. No lacking, man. No lacking. We ain't doing none of it over here, man.
Take a good look at the motherfucking bad guy. This your last time seeing a bad guy like me, you hear me? Right here. Right here. Goddamn new generation. Old blocks never die, baby kids. They never die, you know what I'm saying? At least 15 years in this bitch. This bitch like a motherfucking war zone to me, man. I'm like a fucking Rocky veteran in this bitch.
In their pockets, wads of cash. They tell us that all this money come from drug trafficking. money that is used to buy weapons.
Everybody got it.
Everybody.
Everybody
Heavy ammunition,
Chicago,
heavy artillery,
a lot of guns.
Chirac for real.
Everybody. Pulled up. I'm telling you, easy to find. Real easy to find. Real easy.
It's raining shells and guns, man.
How you use it?
It's raining shells and guns.
How you use it? They call you score. You kill something, you score.
And you already
Yeah, they gonna keep you with something thick. If you gonna score, you gonna have something thick on you. I'm telling you.
have to use it.
If you wanna live, yeah. You wanna die, don't use it. You will die.
Tonight, the Black Disciples are planning a small party. They accept that we get in one of their cars.
Their den is a few streets away. The journey is risky. You have to go to enemy territory, that of the JoJo world.
Boy, don't pull up in no motherfucking brisk car gas station, boy. You lose your motherfucking, oh, they gonna kill her. Shit, I'm just being safe. They might shoot to this bitch and one of us might get hit.
Before getting out of the car, arms full of supplies, this gang member shows off 10 carefully packed doses.
This is for you?
Get money.
You sell it?
Yeah.
That's what you earn money?
Yeah.
The Black Disciples will meet on the second floor of this building. The evening will allow us to get some revelations about Jogo's death. The gang rents this apartment to party and sell drugs.
Hey, we could not find no pills. The police on every block. We don't sleep here, we get our money here. Real trap shit.
One ring acts as a trash can.
It's the trap shit. Real trap shit.
It's a room for
Real
what?
trap shit.
On the evening's program, Rap and High. It's between joint smoke and alcohol fumes that a young boy barely 16 tells us why his gang killed Jodo.
What is that? It's yours? It's yours?
No, that ain't it. That's the block.
Which kind of weapon it is?
It's a Glock 4.
How you carry that with you?
Keep the house off.
Who is the house?
JoJo World.
JoJo World?
Young Money.
JoJo World is the...
They some hops. They with that BDK shit. I ain't with it.
And what happened to JoJo?
Got his ass smoked.
People from the BDs?
Yeah.
Why?
Till today, Jodo's murderer has not been arrested.
See, that's too much information.
But there is a great chance that this death will one day be avenged. This spiral of violence, some have managed to put an end to it in their neighborhood. They now live in ghettos. They are white and in ghettos. North of the city, on the shores of Lake Michigan, there is a neighborhood whose name is evocative, Boys Town, the town of the boys. But not the bad boys like in the gangs. Welcome to Hollywood Beach, Chicago's homosexual beach. A wind of lightness and a very friendly atmosphere. Everyone here smiles and looks happy. We are very far from the gang war that is ravaging the southern districts, a few kilometers away.
I'm trying not to laugh. No.
There are no gangsters or guns here.
Turn around. That's actually why we come, like every weekend, is just to play volleyball. Yeah.
All those muscular, oiled, tanned boys live a few steps from the beach. This is their neighborhood. 4 streets and 18,000 inhabitants. A haven of peace where a majority of men live, often rich and white. Here, no graffiti, but rainbow flags, symbol of the homosexual community. Colorful metal pylons that mark the entrance to their city. Sean, 29, lives in a beautiful apartment.
Could we make a little visit to your place?
Of course, yeah.
Sean is
I
the
have a
king of the
roommate, so
neighborhood.
that's his room. I apologize, my boyfriend's sleeping still, but he knows you're here. Hey. So.
Sean came here 10 years ago to try his luck. He started out as a doorman, and today, he became the boss of the Knights of Boys Town.
You do this every morning?
Every morning.
How it was?
I don't know, the minute someone sees you not looking the right way, they're like, what's wrong with you? Are you having a bad day or something? So.
Sean is still very concerned about his appearance. Feeling beautiful is part of your business.
Okay, I'll see you later. Bye, fun. Thanks.
Today is a big day. Chicago is the #1 city in the United States for giving away an entire neighborhood to the gay community. So inevitably, they reign supreme, and they celebrate it. Today is June 30, Gay Pride Day. Nearly 1 million people came from all over the Midwest. Sexy and good-natured atmosphere. The only trouble made around the corner, a handful of anti-gay evangelists.
You are not a child of God. You're a child of the devil. Shame on you. The Testament is very clear that homosexuality is sin. We are warning them that if they don't turn from their sin and turn to Christ, they will enter the flames of hell.
But in this neighborhood, their fight is already lost.
And they can do what the fuck they want, really, because obviously you see millions of people out here doing what we do every single day.
How much are they?
There's about fucking 14, 15.
In Boys Town, no one comes to invade gay territory. If they are so powerful, it is thanks to strong political support. For example, Pat Queen, heterosexual, married, and father of 2 children, he is the governor of Illinois. The gay community is a very coveted electorate. Gay Pride is a great time to campaign and win votes. A little further on, here is the president of the county. She is also preparing for the next elections. She relies on the votes of this rich and numerous community with active support. But whoever wins all the votes at the head of the motorcade, he, Tom Tennant, is the mayor of the neighborhood. Hands down in 2003, he is gay and never fails to remember how influential his community is, all over the city.
It's indescribable for a city this big to be so supportive of our LGBT community in the center of my neighborhood.
If homosexuals get this much support and attention, it is because they have succeeded in a tour de force. Where the police failed in the face of violence, they defeated him. It's hard to imagine that 20 years ago, this neighborhood was the most dangerous in the city.
Look at Roscoe's. Can you hear me okay, or am I talking too
Jim
loud?
was one of the first homosexuals to settle in the neighborhood.
Coming in the patio.
His bar, Le Rose Cause, is an institution.
I've just invited a few of my very closest friends here, and I'm hoping they're having a good time.
Jim bought this location for a pittance. In the middle of the 80s, at the time, it was a grocery store run by Puerto Ricans. Today, his bar is worth a fortune.
So telling you a little more about Roscoe's, this neighborhood was not the great neighborhood it is now. People were very afraid in this neighborhood because there was gangs in this building, which became Roscoe's in 1987. So I came here because I knew it could be better. I could clean up this part, and then everything else around it would get better too.
A risky bet because the neighborhood, at the time, looked like that. Poor, dilapidated, violent, run by a fearsome Puerto Rican gang, the Iron Man. The mayor at the time, Richard Daley, makes the renovation of northern neighborhoods a priority. At a cost of millions of dollars and police reinforcements, in 10 years, supported gay entrepreneurs have been making these streets one of the hippest states of American nightlife. Every weekend in Boys Town, thousands of gay people are coming to party. On one street alone, 30 bars and ultra-select clubs which have driven out the poorest populations. Without violence or weapons, this is how they have made the gangs disappear, thanks to their business acumen. Sean came at the right time, but to last in Boys Town, you have to be inventive. He understood it well.
Ladies.
To fill his nightclub and keep people talking about him, twice a week he is spending $1,500 on these huge creatures.
Yeah, but I mean, we also make it fun. You know, we make it a variety show. We do, you know, comedy and dance routines.
Come here, it's backwards.
But the real show is always better backstage. Trust me.
Yeah.
And then you get to learn all of our secrets. Well, not all of our secrets. We can't show that on television.
An hour later on stage, the drag queens put on the show. Again, Sean filled the room and the cash register. While the party is ending in Boys Town, at the other end of the city, everyday life continues. In a church in the southern districts, it's a new funeral. A young gangster was executed in the middle of the street a week ago. As is the tradition, his friends wear a t-shirt with his photo in his memory.
He cracked as many jokes as he could.
Families and friends have collapsed.
When I'm down, I will always have that to look up to. And I love him so much. And I'm gonna think about him every day.
He was 26, was the father of a 3-year-old child. He was a member of the Gangster Disciples, a gang with over 18,000 members. Today, many people pay him this last tribute. Last year, the gang war killed more than 500 people in Chicago.
And then, of course, there's the city of Chicago. More people killed there last year than American troops killed in Afghanistan.
Dead and injured every day. Today, what shocks Americans, it is because among these victims, there are more and more innocent people, often very young. In South Chicago, there is a neighborhood where mothers are angry about this violence. These 3 women each lost their children in shootings. Every Friday, they meet in front of this table, their war memorial.
My son, Thomas Lee, see here.
Marsha lost her son Thomas when he was 20.
My son is Terrell Bosley. He's the one right in the center.
Pamela's son Terrell has died at the age of 18.
There's Terrell, there's Dante, and there's Daryl.
Alicia's son was not much older. A total of 100 photos of children of all ages. The families are fed up. They show their victims on the street, teenagers like young Nadia, 15, kids like Heaven. Even babies, little Jenila was 6 months old.
What's supposed to be a safe place? You're supposed to be safe at home, you're supposed to be safe in church, you're supposed to be safe in school. Where's Terrell? Terrell Bosley?
Pamela's son was killed in front of a church.
Daryl at home got shot.
You know,
bullet
so
through the door.
It's
You know, I'm very angry with the people that shooting our children. The one, I don't even know who shot my son, but I'm mad at the one that shot my son and the people that drove past and watched my son down the street.
These women have not finished crying and screaming their anger. The carnage continues. It is the 9th of July in this hospital. A little boy is between life and death. The tragedy took place 4 days ago. The whole parish mobilized to support the family. Pastor Wallace organizes a big prayer to save the child.
Is there anybody out here still believes God is a healer? So right outside of this hospital right now.
The little boy's name is Jaden. He's only 5 years old, shot in the stomach and leg. He is in intensive care on respiratory support. The tragedy took place in this park. Jaden was playing with friends when 2 rival gangsters fired bursts of bullets. The child was hit twice.
But I came out here to get a prayer through to heaven today because that baby needs a miracle. Yeah.
Jaden's mother, Jasmine, is under attack by the media. The whole city of Chicago is hung up on the fate of her son.
How is he doing? Right now, he's doing good. He's stable, everything, his vitals, everything.
In case you didn't hear that, he's doing good. His vitals are stable, and we give God.
The press no longer reports the shootings as there are many of them in Chicago. But when a child is affected, journalists mobilize.
He's a 5-year-old kid. I mean, he's out there playing with his friends. I mean, I think people are feeling like, look, if you can't take your kid to the park and play in the park on a holiday, then where can you go? You can't be in your backyard. You can't walk on the street without worried about being shot.
It's important to let people know that kids, these innocent victims, are being shot. And while people think it doesn't affect them, I mean, everybody's affected by a child being shot. I mean, how can you not be?
Supported by her family, Jasmine spent a month at the bedside of her child, not knowing if he would survive. Finally, the prayers of the community were answered. It's almost a miracle, but the little boy is back home. The family still lives in the same house. The neighborhood is apparently quiet. Today, Jaden is feeling better.
I already got this kind of Spider-Man. Now I broke the head off.
Yeah, they did a real good job on it. Real good job.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
That was me.
No, they wasn't.
Wasn't that the doctor? It's you?
To save him, doctors had to remove his pancreas. Jaden will be diabetic for the rest of his life. What his mother and stepfather are worried about, it's the psychological trauma of the little boy.
Do you remember what happened? No.
You remember playing in the park with the fireworks, don't you? What else you remember after that, Juice?
Jasmine would like her son to talk about these shootings.
What's the last thing you remember playing in the park?
Oh, no.
I just think he don't want to talk about it. But it's okay.
For Jaden's future, Jasmine wants to escape this violence.
Well, I'm getting ready to move.
You, yeah? Where you want to go? Where you want to go?
Out of Chicago.
Yeah? Far?
What?
Yes.
No more shooting?
Yeah. There's a big dramatic change.
You okay?
Yeah.
Today, more and more of these families are victims of gang terror choose to flee Chicago when they can.